that frontliner for it to be effective.
Yeah, there's a lot of worries for the roam on the side of Bren Esports. It's not an easy Lolita game. Quick side note though, Brody is the tallest hero in MLBB.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, in the drafting, he's huge.
Yeah, he's huge.
He's Brody.
He even dwarfs Brethren.
He's taller than he's Brody.
He's Brody.
Because he's broad.
Yeah.
And he's tall. Yeah,
I like it. I
He's
like
broad
it.
and tall.
I like it.
But yeah, again, this is going to be a game wherein they're really fighting for the upper bracket seed, or maybe the top seed here in our playoffs, and the leadership for our captains, and at the same time, how they will really play against each other.
You hear the fans in the background. Welcome to Friday night fight night here in Mplph, Philippines, midnight. What are the conditions early on for both teams?
Well, for Bren Esports, again, they have to make this Lolita work. They have to make BLacklist bleed on the early parts of the game when they are not capable of fighting yet. Come minute 3, minute 4, that's the time where you feel BLacklist's strength. So again, make use of the combination that you have in the middle lane, harass with the with the Eve and the Fanny, and make sure that you get enough resources and get the first objective of the game to limit BLacklist's momentum in the mid game.
Yeah, that is indeed true, and we could see a slow start actually for our teams. Even the Visioners are just positioning themselves on the brushes, and we don't really see this come into week 5. So a more stable game for both our teams.
Yeah, taking things nice and easy, slow and steady.
Oh!
Flat there, a little bit of a micro, just getting it.
But in the top lane, that is going to be a first blood. For Kyle Teasy of Bren Esports, there's going to be a delay on that Blessing of the Moon Goddess from Oh My V.
Yep. This is the strength of a Fanny, especially with, I mean, against a lineup that has no crowd control. He can just, move around the map.
Yeah, now, a few seconds before the turtle spawns there, it's up. We're going to get it. Kaltizi going in.
Ooh, hero focus.
We see Kyle Teasy, Mitona's welcome from Wise, and it's going to be cancelled here. But we can see right now the players of Bren Esports zoning out the players of BLacklist International. Voice will disengage because he is already low on life, and first turtle most probably will go to Bren Esports as BLacklist International. We just move out, but we will see Edward with the rest of the players, and first turtle will go to Bren Esports.
He cannot contest that.
Yeah, I mean, way too difficult. I mean, I probably would have contested it, but that's why I'm still stuck in Epic.
Well, I do love the the understanding coming down from Kyle Teasy. He knows that he is a Fanny. There's no way in hell, even in the land of dawn, that he can be caught out by the Tona's welcome. So when he saw Wise there, he was like, okay, I'm gonna try and take down this dinosaur. No crowd control, cannot eat me. I can just fly away.
It's a lot easier for Kyle Teasy during that moment, but right now for Bren Esports, they are on the lead in terms of gold, and this is the usual BLacklist play. When we see this Barats and Estes, they're just really waiting for the perfect moment. But again, on the top lane, that is gonna be a kill by Super Marco against Owl.
Such a crucial kill as well, level 5 on the Brody, and it hurts because you have Stain on the Barats, but Beatrix is solely your damage dealer in mid-game, even though you have a Lapu Lapu, he's going to play backline later on. And this Beatrix is the core element to how BLacklist can be able to play in the mid-game. So that kill suppresses, again, BLacklist's capability for the mid-game spike.
Yeah, slow and steady are these two teams right now. Very calculated in terms of where they're going to get their pickoffs. Kyle Teasy finding Wise.
Ooh, look at that damage from Kyle Teasy. Again, Kyle Teasy is as if a bird that is just looking for those players from BLacklist International, giving information as well for his teammates. And look at that, almost a K gold lead for a Bren Esports as the turtle will spawn in 15-second time.
Yeah, but if you're a Bren Esports, you're not going to be happy with that, especially Kyle Teasy. He just tried and take it down the dinosaur. He didn't have enough damage, and you also have to worry about the SS later on. So I think Bren Esports, they know for a fact that BLacklist spike is going to happen soon. And again, this is going to become a problem. If you cannot take down the Barats, he will just provide massive frontline defense for BLacklist.
Yeah, fighting in the turtle. First build radiant armor already up for Wise.
Turtle life is already low, but we will see Kyle Teasy from the back. Oh my goodness, it's a target.
Oh!
But the turtle will go to few. Bren Esports will secure that. Look at the sustain for BLacklist International. Oh my goodness, it's down. The cables are there. They are everywhere. And another kill for Bren as the goal lead is now 2.5k.
Cables are there everywhere, plus some damage to boot. Bren Esports finds a big victory. And I think BLacklist International knew what might happen midnight because Owl already went for that bottom lane switch and Flap still getting that crab coin.
Yeah, again, the plays coming out from Mplph, he is negating the presence of the heroes on the side of BLacklist International because of the crowd controls that he has, especially with the energy eruption. But again, yeah, as you've mentioned, BLacklist, they knew that they cannot compete against Bren Esports at the moment. That's why they place the Beatrix on the bottom lane. This is where they excel at, you know, resource management, resource control, and they know where they are weak, they know where they are strong, and mid game is what they're looking at, and they're trying their best to get there to the, to get to that point, and they know that the Beatrix needs to get to that point. So they put Owl, they put Owl on the bottom lane, sacrifice the turtle, but they try to do it anyway because you have to address this at some point. You know, you have to compete with Bren.
Yeah, and actually for Bren Esports, we could see the shift from being really aggressive to now a team that is waiting for the perfect moment to actually be on that place or that position to go up against BLacklist International in this formation. They're really aware. Look at the respect actually with the formation of BLacklist here at the bottom lane.
Yeah, it's like Bren knows where BLacklist want to go. Oh,
In an instant, that is the cutthroat for Kyle Teasy. And here comes Bren Esports, but the retaliation is there for BLacklist International. Yui with the kill. Ogwen is going to be the target. Flicker out for Ogwen, and the rest of Bren Esports is dealing damage because those stacks from Super Margo. Torn apart, remember, not enough damage. Flicker in for Mplph. And there is going to be the Appraiser's Wrath. Another kill for Bren Esports.
That was super smooth coming out from Mplph. Flicker in, energy eruption, and then Appraiser's Wrath. Oh, my Venus was not willing to commit the heal.
that was genius. The flicker into the taunt. My goodness. We talked about the flap factor that Bren Esports has, and he comes up big. The BLacklist are still contesting.
Kyle?
Again, from the back, Owl is going to be the target, while the rest of Bren Esports and BLacklist International is fighting for this turtle objective. Who's going to win this? Here comes the real-world manipulation. But it's a new way, but the retribution battle is going to be on the hands of Kyle Teasy. Kill spree for Super Marco.
Oh, the flicker in!
The flicker again. Aggression play for Bren Esports. Another kill. 3 players down from BLacklist International.
This is how you know a team is in the lead. They are calculated with forward flickers, Midnight.
You know, there's no pressure with Bren Esports. They know for a fact that they need to win. They need to capitalize on the momentum that they have. And again, as you mentioned, those flickers are very, very important because if you manage to shut down the timing of BLacklist International, you have this window wherein you can just continuously play because you out-damage the sustain that BLacklist has. You don't have to worry about the mistakes that you can commit as long as you're choosing the right targets and Mplph controlling the right heroes. Bren Esports can just continuously man-fight against BLacklist.
Oh, okay. Bren Esports still in the lead, still dominating. And you can clearly see how much homework they did as Edward will be forced back. Bren Esports eyes set. Getting that top turret though. Here comes Wise going forward.
That is an eye set from Wise. It's going to be the better instinct from Yue. There is the damage. A player's down for Bren Esports where the rest of the players are trying to fight for their lives.
Oh, it's Kyle.
Teasy. Again, the cable man. Kyle Teasy with the damage. 3 players down. Actually 4 from BLacklist.
They did not see that at all. I mean, from the cross map, he came from the middle lane and he was able to catch up towards that fight on the top lane. And sustain, again, is not a problem at the moment because they just have so much damage on the side of Bren Esports, especially with Super Marco having the Blade of Heptases. He is able to output so much physical damage onto the frontline targets. And even if BLacklist tries to run, Fanny can just, you know, chase them into their base.
Yes, actually, moments before that kill from Kyle Teasy, he was actually securing his buff. So look at the displacement and mobility of this hero. Now, BLacklist International, we're waiting for the mid-game sustain coming from the team. But look at that, Bren Esports will start this Lord objective, and there's going to be no contest from BLacklist. It's going to be critical for them if they have the forces. Take note that they have the minion wave clearing.
None.
With a down Nuclear Blast from Ogwen. They want to go against Twice, but Kaltisi will secure that Lord. We can see again Kaltisi to be part of the T5, dealing damage against the players of BLacklist International.
goodness,
They're
Flap.
forced to back away. Again, a
Flap.
flicker from BLacklist. And a godlike for Super Marco. The space,
Oh
the
my
initiation,
goodness.
the implementation, it's just there for Bren Esports.
Dude, the trio of Bren Esports, Few, Ogwen, and Mplph, they're just shutting Wise completely down. Few with the Void Crystals, Ogwen forcing out the Tonos welcome with the Numenum Blast, and Wise, he had no choice. And Mplph, he does not care if he dies at all. He just wants to fight. He wants to frontline for Bren Esports because he knows that there's so many follow-ups that will be coming out from both Ogwen and Few, especially with Super Marco and Kaltisi dealing the damage. So this playstyle from Bren Esports is shutting down the frontline defense of BLacklist.
Oh, it feels like I'm watching M4 all over again, and how Echo shut down Wise in the grand finals. Bren Esports, it's like they remembered that series and said, hey, I think we can do that again. Oh, under the tower.
Speaking of doing it again, here comes the Nuclear Blast. Catches not.
Again, Mplph.
But on the top lane, another secure. Wise is down. Take another player from BLacklist. It's going to be Edward. You can
Oh
see
my
Bren Esports
goodness.
just diving. And Kaltisi is still alive as the Lord will march in here at the bottom lane. But look at the discipline of Bren Esports. After that objective, they just go away. They just back away and back to what we're doing.
Yeah, and they needed to be disciplined there. They didn't take down the mid tower just yet. It was a good call. What else did Bren do right there, Midnight?
Well, Mplph again, not caring about his own life. Like, standing in front of the towers of BLacklist International, just making sure that nobody goes outside. And BLacklist, when they went inside their base, Kaltisi went for the chase. He was able to get one kill inside the own home of the agents, and this is where you start feeling that there is already no hope because resource management, it's no longer possible for BLacklist International. Mplph is making sure that nobody leaves the base. Leaves the base.
Yeah, actually, even for BLacklist International, again, we've mentioned about crowd control here, and there's no really stopping against Kaltisi.
look at
Speaking of, he comes from the back. Look at that. Bren Esports, again, you will use that real-world manipulation as the middle lane is going to be destroyed for Bren Esports. Another turret down, and Mplph now has the blade armor.
Yeah, very, very critical item because BLacklist International, the only way you shred through the HP of Mplph is through the damage output coming out from Owl. And he can no longer do that because the damage will also be reflected and he is susceptible to dying against Stefani. And one thing that I want to harp on about the playstyle of Bren Esports, they're overcommitting on the Barats. And this is something that you don't see every day, fully committing on a hero. But guess what? Barats does not have Purify. They don't have any save mechanism aside from the heal. What they can do is use all their resources to control the Barats on the front line so that Kaltisi does not have to worry about any form of saves on Owl. So this is just Bren Esports saying to BLacklist, pull everything towards the Barats and leave your backline with no safety precautions. And Kaltisi is just abusing that window that he has where he can just shut down anybody on the side of BLacklist.
And look at that, another free lord here for Bren Esports. No major objectives taken yet by BLacklist International. 17-2. The keyword here is commitment. They knew their assignments going into this series. And Bren Esports just committed everything that they studied and executed it to near perfection. Now on the cusp of getting game number 1.
Yeah, indeed. We can see the lead right
Kyle
now.
again?
Again, the damage of Kaltisi is against a hero that is supposed to be more on the sustain side,
Yeah.
but almost already more than half of the HP. So this is going to be deadly here for BLacklist International. They need those fortress. They need that fortress, rather. They need that sustain as much as possible, and they really have to look forward on the entry of Kaltisi.
Yeah.
The Lord is here on the middle lane. This might be it for Bren Esports. We're still waiting for that initiation play. But you
Kyle.
see right now, Wise is already low on life. Reward manipulation for Pew. And
Oh,
Mplph
no!
again with that aggressive
Ogwen.
critical play. And Ogwen on the backside. Killing spree for Mplph. Here comes the bait and the tower lock for the side of Bren. 1-0.
Spearheaded by the CEO of TZ Entertainment, the Flap Factor coming in big. It wasn't just Flap. That was the entirety of Bren Esports in near God mode against BLacklist International.
Yeah, for